Kia ora, good evening. The Consumers Price Index has jumped 0.9% for the quarter. Rises in food and petrol prices were highlighted as key to the upward shift in today's CPI report from Statistics New Zealand. Seasonally higher prices for vegetables led to a 1.7% increase for the food group in the June to September period, and the transport sector saw a 1.9% hike. Overall, 8 out of 11 groups increased in price in the quarter. Solid Energy and GTL Energy look set to mothball the briquette plant at Matilda. Coal mining outfit Solid Energy says that if the proposal goes ahead, the temporary shutdown would see the number of permanent employees at the facility reduce from 4 to 1. The final decision is due by the 24th of October. The plant has been jointly run by the two parties since the end of June. Concepts for a new-look South City were considered at a South Alive meeting last night. Hunter Andrews was there.
Around 45 attended a concept presentation by Craig Pocock of Pocock Design, who was charged with giving South City a new look and feel. Mr Pocock is full of admiration for the South Alive movement and the momentum generated within the community to participate and contribute.
All urban design, we end up dealing with some sort of community, but often they tag in and they tag out. You know, it's normally a discussion early on, and then they want to see the final plan, and that's kind of their involvement. What's unusual about South Alive is that not only have they had the vision to start this whole process, I'm only here because they've asked me to be here and be part of this process, but they've driven it from that point onwards, and they've done an incredible amount of stuff with pretty small budgets and a lot of goodwill. So since August 2012 until now, there's been a massive amount of changes in this community because of that.
Presented last night were two concept options for a Martin Street pocket park where people could gather and be entertained in a sheltered environment.
Well, the pocket park in Martin Street was one of the things that came up in the public consultation. The community, and particularly the younger generation, really wanted a place to meet. They struggled with, they'd say, we'll come to South City and we'll meet you where. There was never a clear meeting, gathering space. And so with Martin Street become popular as an idea of a meeting place because it's got quite a good microclimate. Because Jeanette and Martin Street are offline with each other, there's a bit of a wind shadow, it gets good northwest sun, and so it was a natural place to put a small place together, and that's kind of what a pocket park is.
South Alive Chair Colin Anderson preferred option 1, the larger of the two concepts on show.
I go for the first concept really, option 1, which is the larger of the two. Mainly because, I don't want to have a compromise. Let's have a park that people can actually interact in, and it's a reasonable size and it makes a statement rather than something that's almost a compromise.
The majority of those attending also preferred the larger of the two options. Some concern was raised about parking, but overall most appeared happy to proceed to the next stage of development.
I mean, it could have gone either way, and I would have been happy either way. But really, it's not mine. It's the community, and they need to decide what they want. The bigger one has a loss of about 5 car parks. The smaller one loses 1 car park. The smaller one offers a lot less community amenity and a lot less flexibility. But I thought that maybe they would go that direction anyway. But it's been very positive, even with the retailers. We're also very positive, even with the loss of car parks, to go for the bigger option. So that's been a great outcome.
Very positive, and it's good to hear from people. And I felt they weren't afraid to speak out and let their true feelings known of how they felt about things. Parking, of course, is always an issue and always comes up. But they seem to be prepared to look at the broader picture of doing something for South City.
South Alive are enthusiastic to have things underway as soon as the consultation process is concluded.
It'd be great to have it done yesterday. No, we're really keen to keep the momentum going. A lot of the time frame will be up to the City Council, because after all they'll be doing the funding of it.
South City residents can have their say until the 25th of this month by visiting the South Alive office. Hunter Andrews for South Today News.
Plans for Invercargill's new-look skate park are ramping up as potential designers submit offers for the job. Invercargill City Council has revealed that 3 interested parties lodged bids to redevelop, design and rebuild the project, which will take over from the existing skate park on Ellis Road. The council refused to name the bidders, but has previously said it would like to get the word out to all skate park designers throughout New Zealand. A winner is due to be chosen within 4 weeks once the offers have been evaluated. The project will involve demolition of the current park, finalising the design and then construction of the new skate area. Community Development Manager Mary Napper says the building work will hopefully take place over the summer. After the break, Civic Honour Award recipient Sylvia Gillies. Welcome back. Businesswoman Sylvia Gillies has dedicated 45 years to helping others through her voluntary work at the Southland Asthma Society. The Invercargill local told Rachel Meredith about her time at the association, for which she was humbled to receive a Civic Honours Award.
I was very humbled by receiving the recognition, and there's lots of other people who have done wonderful things too, but it was very nice for the association as well as myself.
45 years is a long time to dedicate to voluntary service. How did you first get involved here, and why?
I was asked to join the association executive in the late 60s because there was an increase in chest disease and also in asthma in Southland, and they had a workload that was requiring more people to help.
What are the main goals of the society?
Well, to have asthma and chest diseases under control, and that people can live their lives fully. With medications today, that's certainly helped, and with our help, our association has a Huffers and Puffers monthly meeting, that's support group, and they also have an exercise group that they have once a week, and yes.
Do you have a proudest achievement since you've been volunteering here?
Not personally myself. I suppose I visited the hospital for 20 years visiting chest patients, and that personally for myself. But as an association in the 70s, we lobbied the government to get smoking removed from the national airline, which we did successfully, and that was really very good.
What are the main goals going forward for the society?
Just to be there for people, for patients and families, and all the support that we can give them in the future, and hope that the incidence of asthma and chest disease and the lowering of people not smoking, we hope, will do that, and yes, that's what we hope for the future.
How important is it for people in Southland to give up their time and do voluntary service?
I think it's very important, and there's an awful lot of need out there in all sorts of areas, I'm sure, and people do wonderful work, and it's very nice that they do that. There'd be an awful lot of people in lots of areas that would miss out dreadfully if people didn't do voluntary service.
Time is running out for New Zealanders looking to become shareholders in the country's largest electricity company. Applications and payments from New Zealanders for shares in Meridian Energy need to be received by 5 p.m. on Friday, October the 18th, Minister for State-Owned Enterprises Tony Ryle says. New Zealanders need to provide an IRD number, a valid New Zealand bank account, an address and a declaration that they are a New Zealander to be eligible, he says. Mr Ryle says the government is pleased with the interest so far by the public and believes the retail price cap of $1.60 per share has created a greater level of investment confidence among investors. The New Zealand government has a 49% share in the company, and the sale of shares is an effort to reduce government debt. Invercargill home care service provider Good Partners held a seminar today in support of ACC Safety Week to draw attention to everyday safety risks that may affect Southland seniors. ACC's National Injury Forecast predicts that Southlanders will have 97 accidents in the next week alone, many of which include accident in the region's elderly population, a demographic Good Partners CEO Jide Samuel says are particularly at risk.
The essence of the seminar is to raise the awareness how we can prevent as much injury as possible. That is why we are there. That is why we want to be able to raise the awareness. We are more than happy to be able to visit people's home at no cost at all, for them to be able to advise them what they can put in place to prevent injury, to prevent fall.
What preventative measures can they themselves do, or can other people help them with to minimise the risk of accidents?
They can change the way they live in terms of how they house are. And during this week, we are offering free home safety assessment, free, nothing attached to it. We tell them what they need to do. Maybe they need to put clutters away to declutter. They need to do a little bit of exercise. They need to make sure that everything that is in the way is being taken care of. As well, they also need to put maybe a grab bar, hold bar, maybe along the corridor. They need to have a proper lighting in their homes. Also, what they wear is quite important as well.
Would you say that among the elderly, they are particularly at risk?
Yes, the elderly are particularly very, very at risk, especially when they are over 65. 1 in 3 of anybody that's over 65 will experience a fall, and that's just the beginning. And then by the time they have one fall, second fall, then it's a big issue for them, because there's a lot of factors that constitute them to be at risk, whether at home or by the time they go out. So it's a big factor with the elderly especially.
Some of the region's Year 7 and 8 students took a break from the books today and picked up a table tennis paddle. Today's Table Tennis Southland organised tournament is the culmination of weeks of round-robin competition between teams of students hoping to be wearing a winner's medal by the end of the day. Table Tennis Southland Development Officer Carolyn Geraghty says the overall standard for the intermediate age students was very good, with many exhibiting exceptional hand-eye coordination. James Hargest proved too dominant in the boys' competition, taking out first, second and third place, with Southland girls prevailing over Aparima College in the girls' competition. That's it from the news team tonight. Up next is sport. Good night.